Hey, what's up everybody? In this video, I'm going to show you Luca Paguro at skill level 4, 5, and 6. Now, I do have another video that covers Luca Paguro at the lower skill level, so at skill level 1, 2, and 3. So if you're looking for that video, check it out in the description below or in the top right hand corner. In that video, I do go over some of the strategies that I use and also his stats. So if you're interested in seeing that, I'll also link it at the end of this video if you want to watch this video first. In terms of strategy, they're going to be roughly similar. They're not identical, but pretty similar in how you will be using Luca. And as a quick recap, Luca wasn't really that great at the lower skill level. So in this video, we'll check it out to see if he's worth it at skill level 4, 5, or 6. But before I get into all the game demonstrations and review of Luca at the higher skill levels, if you guys are enjoying this type of content where I review Tsums and do monthly leaks, or is just a fan of the game, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Okay, so let's get into Luca Paguro at these higher skill levels. So at skill level 4, the skill range is going to be large with a score multiplier of 2.6. Skill level 5, we're going to have a skill range of extra large with a score multiplier of 2.8. And then finally for skill level 6, the skill range is going to be extra large with a score multiplier of 3. And I guess I should probably quickly recap on his ability. There are two things that are going to be different between all of the skill level, and that is a skill range, and then secondly it's a score multiplier. Essentially, you'll be using Luca to get either a high score or to connect a really long chain. So he's going to be good for those missions where you need to get like 30 plus chains and you need to make a really long chain. He's a good option for that. Now, he's not going to be the best Tsum for that, but I would say if you do have Luca, that's what you will be targeting him for. He's not going to be great for coins, so don't expect to get a lot of coins using Luca. But you could also use Luca to get a high score as well, but you'll definitely need to get him to level 50 before it's going to be effective. You don't even need to get him to a higher skill level to use him as a score earner. I think as long as you get him to level 50, you'll be good for that. It's just going to take you a lot of time and effort to level him to level 50, but with his ability, it's not going to take too long because during his ability, a bunch of Tsums turn into Lucas. So when you clear him during the animation, it's going to count as leveling him up as well. So it's a good option if you need a high scoring Tsum or you need a Tsum that connects a long chain. Again, not the best Tsum, but good option. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about strategy for these higher skill level. They are going to be relatively the same compared to the lower skill level. So really a couple of things that you want to do is you want to have one magic bubble handy before activating the ability. You want to pop the magic bubble right after you connect a long chain. That way you can skip the animation by pressing that bubble. And I'll show you a game demonstration of that a little bit later in this video. The second thing you want to do is when you are trying to connect a really long chain, try to connect Lucas that weren't part of this Tsum change, I guess, because sometimes you get lucky and could connect additional Lucas that are not involved in the changing of the Tsums. When that happens, all those additional Tsums that you clear that weren't part of the Tsum change, it's going to count towards the next charge up. And also with Luca, you want to give it a couple of seconds so that way the Tsums can settle at the bottom of the screens before you activate the ability. When you do that, you'll maximize the Tsums that will change into high scoring Tsums. That way you get a higher score and also a long range chain, which will get you more coins, but again, don't get excited about the coin earnings for Luca. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you guys is a side-by-side comparison of the abilities activated at the same time. So take a look at it here, and there's a couple of things I do want to call out, and let me slow this down for you so that way we can really see what's going on here. So take a look at skill level 4 and 5. I do have one magic bubble handy, but for skill level 6 I don't, and I did that on purpose to show you the difference here. But before I get into that, take a look at the skill range here. You'll notice that a majority of the screen for skill level 6 is pretty covered. So there's really not a lot of places where you could leave your magic bubble. And same for skill level 4 and 5 actually. You could leave your magic bubble at the bottom left or in the top right hand corner. But in this case, skill level 5, if that magic bubble was a Tsum, it's likely going to be a Luca Paguro. But in our case, because we have a magic bubble there, it wasn't able to change it into a Luca. So sometimes the bubbles are going to get in the way and there's really nothing you could do about that. Alright, so the next thing you want to do is connect a really long chain. So if you look at skill level 6 there, you'll notice that I connected additional Lucas that weren't part of the Tsum change. So I connected a bunch of Lucas that were right below the score of the bonus. So in the center top area, those Lucas were not part of the Tsum change, but I connected those anyways. And that's what you want to do, is you want to connect additional Tsums that weren't part of the Tsum change if you can. But yeah, essentially what you want to do is just connect a really long chain and do it quickly. So for skill level 4, I was able to make a chain of 21. Skill level 5, I got a chain of 23. And skill level 6, I got a chain of 31. But you'll see that for skill level 4, I missed a couple of them. So it wasn't a perfect chain. So that goes into, like, if you are a really good player that could connect really long chains and play really fast, then you're going to perform a lot better than I did. I feel like I'm more of a slower player. I wouldn't say I'm extremely slow, but I'm not fast either. Like, I see some people that play on other YouTube channels and they're extremely fast. So I'm not a fast player, but if you are, then you're likely going to get a higher score than I did here. Alright, so take a look at skill level 6 here. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't have a magic bubble. So look at how slow the animation plays through. It's going to take a total of additional 6 seconds of animation time to clear out the bubble. So I'll play it through one more time to show you how much slower it is for the animation to play through. But if you look at skill level 4 and 5, I have a magic bubble handy and I popped it right after I made the long chain, and it skips that entire animation of each Tsum bursting. So at skill level 6, because I had a lot of Tsums on the screen and I had to play through the entire thing, it took additional 6 seconds. So as you could kind of imagine, it's going to take a lot longer to play through a skill level 6 animation. So have a magic bubble handy, especially for skill level 6. It's going to save you a lot of time. So overall, I think Luca Paguro is not going to be great at skill level 4, 5, and 6 either. He's not going to be a great Tsum for score, not great for coins. I think that if you do have Luca Paguro because you are trying to get Million Lee, that's okay. But I wouldn't necessarily say invest in Luca to try to get him to level 50 or even skill level 6, because there are other Tsums that you can spend your time and your resources on. But regardless, let me show you the results for these 3 gameplays. At skill level 4, I ended up with 1,504 coins. Skill level 5, I got 1,606 coins. And at skill level 6, I got 1,703 coins. So as you can see here, for coins at all 3 of these skill levels, not worth it. They are still mediocre. But for score, for skill level 4, I got 6.6. Skill level 5, I got 6.4. And for skill level 6, I got 8.2. So for skill level 6, it's starting to get a lot better. But I still only have Luca at level 6 for these 2 gameplays. For skill level 5 and 6, they were at level 6. So not worth it yet. But if you have him at level 50, let me know what you got for score. I think that he's going to be a lot better, maybe even getting to the 10 millions. But still, there's not going to be other Tsums that you could get that will be a high scoring Tsum. And comparing to all 6 of the gameplays that I had for Luca Paguro, you'll see that for the score, it significantly increased. But in terms of the coin earnings, really not that much increase. So for that reason, I would say save your coins and skip on Luca Paguro. So that's my review for Luca Paguro. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video or at least found it entertaining. And if you guys would like to see more Tsum Tsum content just like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching.